Welcome to episode 52 of the Growing Space podcast. Episode 52. 52 weeks. I have been sharing weekly content, weekly episodes with you for an entire year. Wow. I am super proud of myself for having learned how to even do a podcast, kind of spoiler behind the scenes info for y'all. I come up with the content, I record myself, I edit the content, and I mix everything together and I publish it. And then I also promote the podcast myself. I'm a solopreneur. And so it's just me. And I am just really proud of little old me for having whipped up 52 episodes to share. So it feels very momentous today. I have learned so much over the last year, not only about podcasting, but just about myself and my business, my plants. And it's been a really great year. I'm so thankful for all of the things that this year has brought me. And in today's episode, I want to talk about the year. And we're going kind of abstractly, right? But abstractly as it relates to our plants. I'm going to share with you some content that I actually wrote at the end of 2022. This was something that I tucked in to my 2023 planning calendar. So for the last 4 years in the off season, my big project has been to write a planning calendar for the year ahead. And in 2023, I wrote a calendar that walked through 6 master skills for growing food at home. And in the last master skill, number 6, it was all about reflection and gratitude. And as I was thinking about this episode 52, so much gratitude was bubbling up and a lot of reflection too was bubbling up for me. And I found myself revisiting this content that I wrote and I wanted to share it with you. And I also have a big announcement to share with you as well. And I will be sharing that at the very end of today's podcast. So, thanks as always for tuning in. Let's go ahead and get started with this episode 52, Moving with the Seasons.
Welcome to the Growing Space podcast. I'm your host, Farmer Erin, owner of The Patio Farmer, and I believe that no matter what size space you have, you can grow food at home. Tune in every Tuesday as I share my best tips, tricks, and encouragement for tending to homegrown edible plants. I'm here to support your food growing journey. The Growing Space podcast is sponsored by Plant Club by The Patio Farmer. Plant Club by The Patio Farmer is a monthly subscription service I started in 2020. It's a membership-based opportunity to take your growing journey to the next level. With 4 different membership options, you get to decide the amount and kind of support that's right for you. All Plant Club members receive access to my online community through a platform called Circle. Having access to this platform allows members to share pictures, ask questions, celebrate harvest, and get to know each other. All Plant Club members also have access to free seeds each month, along with information on how to plant and tend to their crops, with seeding instructions and downloadable resources from the Patio Farmers Resource Library. Membership starts at just $14 a month. Join Plant Club today by visiting my website, thepatiofarmer.com/membership.
This episode feels really appropriate as we are getting ready to welcome in the fall season. We are getting ready for the autumnal equinox. It's next week, in a few days, actually. It's not even a week away. It's the 22nd. It's Sunday the 22nd. We are savoring the last few moments, the last few days of summer. We're welcoming this new season. And so, again, I thought it was just a really nice opportunity to reflect and think about what we are able to focus on with our plants each season. So I'm going to read to you this page from my master calendar, talking about the master skill of reflection and gratitude and the things that we learn from our plants from season to season. Okay? And then we're going to wrap up with my big announcement. So here we go. There are countless lessons we learn from our plants as we work from season to season. Inspiration is everywhere as long as you look for it. This month, this was in November, but we can just pretend like it's September. This month, we master the art of reflection and gratitude for all that we learn from our plants as they grow. We will hinge on 4 key appreciations that correspond with the equinoxes and solstices, yet can be kept top of mind year-round. We begin with the vernal equinox, a time of opportunity. There are opportunities around every corner of your growing space. Sowing a new seed, tending plants, taking note, nurturing life. Springtime is when we celebrate the lengthening of days. The sun beginning to rise more fully in the sky. The ground beneath us warms as the sun radiates above. New life is born, new opportunities to nurture and learn. This newness lights a fire within us. Seek out other sources of newness and opportunity in your life at this time. Take it beyond your plants. Then we move towards the summer solstice, a period of strength. As the summer solstice approaches in mid-June, we admire strength. Let's focus primarily on physical strength as a point of appreciation here, and showing gratitude for your body that carries you through all of life, all of the opportunity. You have a body that reacts to challenges and heat. Strength is also appreciated through our plants and our hard work. Plants, like us, go through so much in their lives. Challenges, hurdles, the annoying gnaw of a hornworm, and the ability to harness the sun's power to create abundance. Be strong. This is a celebration of resilience. And then we move towards the autumnal equinox, a period of abundance. In fall, we are wrapping up the bounty of summer fruits and celebrating the ability to harvest through winter as we prepare to sow and plant a new round of crops. I was once told by a farmer friend to have an attitude of abundance, meaning share what you have when it is asked of you and embrace optimism. Remember, you are strong and there are many new opportunities headed your way. Be there for your neighbor. And then finally, moving towards the winter solstice, a period to restore, a period of restoration. As cool weather beckons, the sun drops in the sky and the nights are longer. You have appreciated many opportunities. Your body has been worked as well as your soil. You have celebrated abundance, and now you are invited to appreciate rest. Rest is just as important as work. It is when our bodies can reset. Our minds and spirits can take a break. We find restoration. We find peace and stillness, and most importantly, clarity. Don't rush here. Linger and enjoy. So, there you go, my little write-up for moving with the seasons. You know, the year, it offers so many opportunities. Our plants are always there for us. There's always the opportunity to grow, but there's also the opportunity to rest and reflect. And I really do think that that reflection is a key element to having a successful growing space, no matter what that growing space looks like for you, whether it's a couple of containers or a couple of raised beds or maybe an acre and a half of space. I don't know. Whatever your growing space looks like for you, I find incredible restoration, peace, support, confidence, optimism from my plants. Like if I am having a bad day, I go to my plants. If I'm having a great day, I go to my plants. Like they are always there for you and they're always in your corner. if you want them to be. And there's so many things that we can learn from our plants as well. The learning never ends. It's kind of exciting. You know, you can practice, you can fine tune, you can experiment with different ideas, but it's always a practice. Right? There's no right way or wrong way of doing anything. There's just your way of doing something. And I also find that's really helpful to keep top of mind. So as we move into this season, this new season, fall, there's a feeling of abundance, right? We're celebrating all the harvest. We're celebrating the labor of love that is growing food. And there's a coolness, a crispness in the air, if you will. And we are able to welcome this new mindset for fall, right? And encourage reflection and gratitude for all that our bodies have done, our minds have done, and our spaces have done for us. So this week's episode is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode. And I want to go ahead and share my big announcement with you. It's a little bittersweet. Okay? It's a bittersweet announcement. Speaking of reflection and gratitude, I have decided that episode 52 of the Growing Space podcast will be the last official episode of the Growing Space podcast. Okay, yes, so this is the last episode, but I have a plan, and this isn't the last you're going to hear from me either. So I have made the decision that I am going to shift from being a weekly podcaster to a solopreneur that maintains a very healthy YouTube channel. Yeah, so I am going to be migrating all of my audio and video content to my YouTube channel and then cross-promoting that on social media. If you've listened to this podcast before, then you'll know I'm on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and YouTube. All of these episodes are also shared on YouTube. So while you might not be able to listen anymore on Spotify or other places where you get your podcast, where you're listening to the show today, if it's not YouTube, then you will no longer be hearing me on a weekly basis. But the good news is that YouTube is free for everyone. If you have an internet connection, you can still listen to my content on YouTube. So my plan is to still create weekly video content, and it will be true video. Right now, the Growing Space podcast, I record the audio, I edit the audio, and then I make probably a fairly boring video file to watch. I mainly just do that so that you can listen to my audio on YouTube, but it's not a video of me per se. Now, I have other playlists on my YouTube channel that do have videos of me, and I would like to do more of those. So I'm going to be taking the time that I have spent on the podcast, which is no little thing. I mean, each week I probably spend 4 to 5 hours between recording and planning or interviewing someone, and then the whole production process from editing to publishing and sharing. It takes time and probably takes about 5 hours of my week, which I have loved doing. And I am so grateful that I have all of this content that I can share and use moving forward. I think it's been a very valuable process, and I'm really grateful to all of you who have been listening for the past year. But what I have found is that I really enjoy doing videos more than just audio. And I like showing you the plants that I'm working with out in my space or in other spaces. I like showing you the plants that I'm working with in addition to providing audio content, right? And I just like writing. I really love writing, and I feel like it's a strength of mine. I have a weekly newsletter that I would love to really invest more of myself into, and I haven't been doing that because I've been doing these weekly podcasts. And so I've just been feeling torn between, what am I currently working on and kind of where I want to shift and where I want to go. And so I've decided through some reflection and gratitude of abundance, right, that I am going to release the podcast, increase my YouTube video content, and really invest more in my weekly newsletter and in that written content that I so enjoy providing. So that is the big announcement. I will put all of my contact information in today's show notes. Like I said, all of these videos will remain archived and available to you to listen whenever you would like on my YouTube channel. And new videos will be popping up very regularly, weekly, if not multiple times a week. That's my goal right now. And I would love for all of you who are listening to subscribe to my weekly newsletter. It goes out every Wednesday morning. It's called the Queen City Almanac, Queen City after Charlotte, which is where I live, Charlotte, North Carolina. And I would just love to stay connected. I'll also put my social media handles on there if you want to follow me on Instagram. I post new content on Instagram every weekday. I don't post on the weekends because that's me time. And I just want to say again how much I have thoroughly enjoyed being the host of this podcast. I love podcasts. And I thank you for showing up every Tuesday or every week to listen to me. And I hope to see you on my newsletter, on YouTube, and on social media as well. So thank you so much. Gratitude to you. Be well. Cheers to your plants. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just changing where I show up. So I hope to see you following along, and thank you so much.
Thanks again for tuning into this week's episode of the Growing Space podcast. I hope that you learned something new and that you were able to take this new information home with you and implement into your growing journey and into your growing space. As always, I am here to support you in your food growing journey. If you'd like to learn more about the different services and resources and membership programs that I run through The Patio Farmer, please check out my website, thepatiofarmer.com. You can also follow me on social media. I am on Facebook, Instagram, and oh my gosh, most recently, TikTok. Wow. I know. Here I am. Patio Farmer is on TikTok. It's very exciting. If you enjoyed today's episode, please give it a like or a rating or a review if you want. Maybe share a little comment about your favorite part of the episode. Share it with a friend. The more interactions I get with my little podcast online, the more I'm able to help people just like you in their food growing journeys. As always, thanks for being here, and I will see you again next week.